So again, this shader is different from the one that you saw yesterday, and I'll just bring up the graph of it. So rendering editors, hypershade, and we have this. And what you might notice is that we actually have two of these shaders that look more or less the same, but not quite. This is a little bit more shiny, and that's because these two shaders here has been combined to this one. So I grab this one and I do the up and down stream. So we get that. I just need to turn off the light. So what is happening here is just like the layered texture we had, we can layer materials or shaders as well. Of course that means that the top material has to be transparent, otherwise it doesn't really make any sense. So if I grab this one and plug it in here, there, and put it in front, then it'll just be gray because there's a gray material at the front, right? So the way you do it is you stack them up. So this material here, I can just assign one at a time, I think. Just find a good frame around here. Grab that. Oh, grab that. Then I assign my the old material I had. It's more or less the old one. It's a little different. So I just render that. So you can see that we get all the shine stuff and the color. And if I then assign the other material here, there, and then render that, maybe I need to turn off the reflection a little bit. No, you can see it, right? You can see the reflection. So I also have the bump map on it, obviously, because I want the gloss to be over the bump. So these two are essentially layered, so that this reflection I have here is put on top of this color I have here. And the combination of that is then, what's such a nice sound, is then this thing here. Okay. So you can see that this is the color, this is the shiny layer, and this is the combination of the two. So if I just remove this one, you can see the difference between the two. There's a bit more of a reflection and stuff in the last one, and it also creates these nice little shininess areas around the letters. That makes it feel like embossed plastic. Okay, so but I'll try to do it from the bottom up today. So just do a new scene, and again. And I'll get rid of that, and I'll get rid of yes, why is it, okay, yes, and I'll start up Photoshop just like yesterday, and I'll find that Wikipedia page on credit cards. Why is internet very slow? Okay. So I think it was this. Okay, yeah. So here it tells me the size of the credit card. So a different way to do this from yesterday is to go and do a new file and simply set it to be in millimeters. And then I'll just grab the millimeters from this here, 85.6. Oops. There you go. 85.6 is one direction. Oh, yes, it has to be a comma in Photoshop, yes. And then it's 53.98. So that is what is needed. I can see here that the image is quite low res, and if I switch this to pixels, I can see that this is not really enough. So I'll set this to, I probably want like 10 times this. So I just go to millimeters again. Whoa, what happened there? Weird program. 5398. There we go. And then set this to maybe 600 dpi's. Okay. And go OK. And the result is this, and it's an image of around 2000 pixels. So that's good. And then of course I'll do the same thing as yesterday. I'll make a background layer that I'll make white, edit. So I'll select everything, fill with white. Maybe we should make it a slightly different color today. So yeah, something like this. And then do this. Okay. Go fill. Oh, I need a new layer. Oh, I make it one layer. Fill. Background color. There you go. Very nice. And then I'll make a new layer. And I'll do these little arrow things. So it will be something like there we go. And I'm going to fill those as well. And just grab this, do a duplicate of this, just drag it on this one, and just hold shift and drag it over here. Do the same thing again, hold shift and drag it over here. Okay, so nice. Grab these three layers and go merge layers. So these three layers are then merged into one. So that's all on its own. Or I can just merge down to combine it. Then I need my text. Grab the text tool, and wow, it's big. And I go, oh my, okay. So this is the mad font. I'll find another one. Something I don't know. Palatino bold italic. That is great. And set this to yeah. Still a little big. So maybe 60. That's good. I'll go with that. And then I just need to find a good color here. That should probably be slightly more in the blue area. Something like that. Okay? Yes. It's Friday. I don't know what that means. But I don't know. I duplicate it and drag it up here, and obviously I need to have a different size here, so I'll make it yeah, 24 is good. By the way, anti-aliasing that I talked about. When you have a text object, you can see you have this thing called smooth. And actually Photoshop highlights it, so all this jittery shit around the edges is where there's anti-aliasing. So that's controlled by this, so if I do none, it looks not so nice, right? This is no anti-aliasing, so the color is either the color or it's not the color, basically. Then you can do sharp, which does this, which is okay. And then you can do different levels, crisp, it looks a little nicer, and I don't know, usually it's the one called strong that is used by default. And you can also do the one called smooth. It's different ways of doing it. I don't really see a big difference. It doesn't matter, but that's what anti-aliasing is all about. Okay, and put it there somewhere. Oh God! Stop. doing it. Ah, I'm doing spaces, that's what. Okay, there. So what I want to do is just put in a guideline like this. So I can just grab this and put it near that line. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's the base of the card. And I'll just merge this together. Just go merge. There we go. And then I need to do the shine layer. So just add a new one, and I go select all, fill with black. Go to my filter menu, noise, add noise. Set this to Gaussian and monochromatic. And of course I can make it more noisy or less noisy. It's up to you how much shine you want to have on it. If I put it down here, maybe slightly more. That's good. There we go. So that's another layer, and I can just name that shine, and this is base. And then I need the text on the top of the card. So I'll just go and grab my text tool here and just place it there. And I'll grab that font, credit, it's up here somewhere, credit. There we go. And go 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. So first of all, of course, this should be white. So I'll make it white. And then we need to change the size of this to, that's too small. That's pretty good. So let's just place this. There we go. And maybe we need a name as well, just like in the other one. So let's just go text tool. There we go. Yeah, very nice. Maybe slightly big. So maybe set this to 16. Yeah, that's good. Okay, there we go. And then I'll blur this layer slightly. Actually, I want to do a copy of it. Okay. Just turn the copy off, and then I want to blur this. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And it says that it needs to rasterize it, so it needs to change it from this editable font thing to just an image. So I do that, go yes, and then today I'll blur it a little more, so I'll blur it like 7. Okay, and then control click the layer below where I have the text without the blur. There, select inverse, and then delete the outside layer piece. So we can delete this, like so. And then maybe just to soften up the edge a little bit, I can just blur it a little bit on top of this. So just do another Gaussian, but this time just do it 1 or 2 pixels. Something like this, okay? So that's it. And I'll try to save this as a Photoshop file. Keep it. I'll just put the shine. Yeah, just do it as a multiply right now, or screen. Yeah, so you can see it a little bit. Okay. Save as new OK card. Yes. Yes. Good. Over here, I need to create my card again with the polygon cube. set the size for this. So it was 85, 8.56, I think. Was that it? 856, yes, and then 5398. There, and then a thickness of about 0.1. There we go. So, nice card. And then again, to create the bevel, I grab the edges here. Actually, I can do it like this, and then hold Control, select there, and select there. So I select everything and then deselect all the stuff, instead of going around clicking exactly on the edge. And then polygon menu, edit mesh, bevel, get that. And I just need to add more subdivisions here. Just set it at 12, that's fine. Make this about there. And then like yesterday, I just make sure I'm in edge mode, and then I grab these and get rid of those, because they are going to be annoying when I do stuff. There and there. Okay. And then I go to a right click on the edge here and go face, and then I just select in the middle here, so I get the two faces but not the edges, and then I do another bevel, and that creates this little edge here, and I can then subdivide that a little bit, make this smaller like so, and so we have this, and we have this nice little edge there. So if you look at it like this, just grab the bevel here. Actually going to grab it over here instead. Yeah, and then select this. So you can see when I make this bigger, I get the rounding on the edge of the text to look a little nicer. So it's just find the right level. One thing that makes the reflection a little easier to see and nicer is often if we have smooth shading on. Right now this is actually the front face here is what's called flat shaded, and then the edges here are smooth shaded. I can show you the difference here. Maybe it's not quite. If I select my object and then I go to display, and in polygon I can go soft and hard edges. So you can see all the lines that are dotted are soft edges, and all the lines that are straight lines or filled lines are hard edges. So this is like a mix of both. And the reason for that is that when we do the bevel, it has a smoothing angle here set to 30. So if I turn that up, you can see more and more becomes, so down here it's all hard. So we get this, and as I turn this up, more and more becomes smooth. So I want this high enough so everything is smooth. Like that. That will usually make our reflection look a little nicer. Okay, so now we get to the material part. Grab the surface and assign a blend material. You can also right click and go assign new material or favorite material blend. There. Texturing is turned on. So I go to my color here, and now it's important to note that instead of selecting file, I select PSD file. And this is important because if I just select file, then Mental Ray will not be able to read the file. If I use my own renderer, it will. So it's a little weird, but that's the way it is. We know it's a PSD file, so we just go PSD, and I'll find the PSD file. Hopefully. Seems like my disk is slow today. So I'll find the OK card thing. It's here. And I have the new OK card PSD file. I'll open that. There we go. So this looks interesting, right? Just grab this, and I go polygons, create UEs, planar mapping, options, in the set direction, and fit to bounding box, and a project. Okay. And again, like we talked about yesterday, I have this little problem of the blending in the top and the bottom, and that's fixed by just making it very little, a very little bit larger than the surrounding. Okay, so essentially that is the card. And now I'm excited to see if the PSD loader works as it's supposed to. Ah yes, it has transparency on as well, which I'm not sure I want, but anyway, let's see. Why can't I select anything here? It's supposed to work. Okay, it's not being helpful. I don't have the ability to select the layers for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Okay, then back to Photoshop. Turn off the shine layer. Keep this on, yes, and then save this out as color. There we go. And then go over here and select the color one instead. Yeah, so we removed the shine, and then I'll go back to Photoshop and I'll turn the shine on and make that a normal layer, and then I'll save as shine. These files will be slightly bigger. I'm not sure why it's not compatible. Okay. But anyway, so maximum. Well, it should be maximized. Okay. So for this, I'll go to my material, and like I talked about, that this will control the amount of shine on the surface. I'll apply another PSD texture to the eccentricity, and that will be the shine one. There we go. And now this will only be visible when I render. So it's not that visible yet, but it will be in a second. If I turn this up, and then this thing here needs a little tweak. So you can see right now it doesn't do anything, so I need to go down to the color balance and say that alpha is luminance, and when I do that it should work. Yeah, it works. But I can't see a lot of shine right now. Maybe I pushed it too far. Let's turn this off and see. Yeah, it's there. It's just not very visible. But we can give it more oomph. So that's the shine on top of the surface. Then we need to add the bump as well, and that's over here. Make sure that the text is on its own, like so, and then we go save as. Okay, card bump. There you go. And then in here I'll find my bump setting up here, click that, go PSD file, and I need to select the PSD file up here, click, and bump. There we go. Let's see if this works if we do this in high quality mode. No, but you can see the shine is there now, but the bump is not working right now. And let's just see, this one should be off for this one. No, still not working. Okay, we'll update it. The way to make sure that the bump works is simply to give this a black background. So I'll grab this, put that behind, select everything, and fill that with black. So now it knows. And then save that as the bump. Yep. And then just in here, reload. And there we go. See, now we have the bump on here. And re-render. Okay. So that worked fairly well, actually. We are almost done. So the only thing we need now is the shine layer. So I go to my hypershade, window rendering, editors, hypershade, and I select my material here and click the in and output, so I get this. And then as something new, I'm going to create what's called a layered shader up here. There we go. And the layered shader I can just apply to my surface, like so. It is a little boring, it's green. And then I apply my real material to this by middle mouse button dragging it over there. And then I create another blend, there we go, this one, that I will also drag over there and put in front of the other one. And then remove the green here. Yeah. So you can see that the blend is in front because everything is gray and not visible. So I'll change this blend, I'll remove all of the color, I'll make it completely transparent, I will remove all the diffuse, I will make it have a nice bright highlight here, and a little bit of reflection, just a little bit, like this. So you can see now that the layer shader here is more shiny than the blend shader then. And then if I render, I will get this. The only thing I need now is actually to put the bump on this as well. So I'll just middle mouse button drag that to the blend and go default. And that will connect the bump as well. So I have these materials here. Okay. And I can apply one of them at a time. So if I just grab this one and put on, we will have the transparent object. So you can see it's like a plastic shell. Looks like this. That is on top of this one here. Okay. And you can just see the shine a little bit. So perhaps what I should do here is actually tweak that shine a little bit more. Give this an extra boost. So put it like 4, see if that works. Yeah, so now there's a lot of shine. Maybe it should just be 3. There you go. And of course, like yesterday, I'll just set my rendering settings. So once this is done, I'll go into my render settings and I'll go to quality and set this to 1 in sample levels, or you can also just instead at the top here set the quality to production there. So production turns on a lot of stuff, but basically it makes the quality good. So you can just see if I save this image and do another one, it takes a little longer, but you can see that the quality, especially along the lines or the edges, has become much better. This was before and this is now. So essentially it's the anti-aliasing that is much better. One thing I want to add is that reflection, and I can do one thing. I can do that OK logo, so I'll just do it fast. Create text, in this case options, and I do this as a poly, and I just write OK, and I'll just use a font like let's say something like This is probably fine. Make it bold. Make it big. Okay. And I go create. So that creates this, but that didn't work actually. Bad font, I think. So I go create again. Text, options, set this to polygons. Yes, this should be general. Okay, there we go. And then grab this object here, move it out in front. There we go. And when it's selected, apply this surface material and make that white. And on each of these, select them, go to their shape, and turn off primary visibility. There we go. So if we render it now, we will have the nice reflection in the surface. I just need to zoom out. So, oh, it's very visible. The reflection is a little bit over the top, I think. So we need to change the material here. Hypershade. Go to this one here and turn down the reflectivity a little bit. Or maybe we should just make this slightly less white. Like so. See how that works. Yep. So it's better now. It's not quite there. So just turn it down a little bit. And actually do an IPR here to see how it works. So as I turn this down, you'll see that it gets less and less visible. Something like that. That's okay. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll add an image-based light for this. So in my render settings, this one up here, in the mental ray indirect light settings, I'll go to image-based lighting, create, and then over here I'll grab an image, and it can be any image. Actually, we'll have, just for fun, we can just use this one. Okay. So it's just wrapped around the whole scene now, as you can see. And the purpose is simply to create a reflection. So to make it invisible, I just make sure it's selected, and then I go to the render stats and make primary visibility off, because I don't want to view it as it is rendered. So let's just set the quality down one level to make it a little faster. Okay, and then render it, and you can see now we get the reflection from the environment. Actually, my material is still a little too reflective. So I'll just go IPR here, grab my object here, there, and then I'll go to my window rendering editors hypershade and just tweak the reflection here. So just make it less reflective. Maybe turn this down a little bit. Oh, it's this thing here that needs to be like really sharp, and this needs to be even more so, maybe there. So let's see. I'm probably seeing it from the rear part here, so I need to grab that one as well and turn down the reflectivity a little bit. There we go. Okay. And this one should be slightly brighter again. There we go. So that is the final card. Of course, we can tweak the reflections still a little bit. That's essentially the idea of how to do it. Okay. Any questions before you do it yourself? No. Very good. I'll